Let's have here number 41. The diagram shows the velocity vector of a particle moving in a circle with a speed of 10 meters per second at two separate points. The velocity vector is tangential to the circle, meaning to say, for the tangential, it only touches one point. Find the velocity representing the change in the velocity vector. So first, we can represent the change in velocity vector. That would be the vector final minus the vector initial. And so from here, we can simply graph it analytically. So first, we're gonna have the vector final. This is the representation of a vector final. Okay, so this is the vector final minus the vector initial. Now, if we're gonna apply plus vector initial, if we're going to apply it like this, that is plus. However, since that is minus, meaning to say we're gonna flip it, we're gonna have it anti-parallel, and so therefore the V minus V initial will be represented in a downward manner. And so connecting now, our final vector would be like this. So this is the representation of the change in the velocity vector. So what do you mean by velocity change? Velocity change is V final minus the vector initial. And take note, as it becomes negative, the V initial, as you connect it from head to tail, it becomes an anti-parallel vector from the original vector. Now, how about the magnitude, or how about if we're gonna apply it analytically? So this one, as you can see, it has an x component only, wherein this one is 10 meters per second, and then this one is also the velocity vector here is 10 meters per second. And so if we're gonna add these two components, that is simply, we're gonna add that like applying the Pythagorean theorem. So that is the change in V, that would be the square root of 10 square plus 10 square, and change in V now, that would be 14.1 meters per second. So that would be the value of the magnitude. And so from here, if we're gonna get the arctan of the angle, so that is theta, that is arctan of 10 over 10, and from this angle we're gonna get 45 degree. Arctan of 1, that would be 45 degree. And so this one is the 45 degree below the horizontal, and then the velocity is 14.1. The change in velocity, that would be 14.1 meters per second.